Hello and welcome back to this unit test review 1. So the instructions say graph the image of the figure using the transformation given. Draw connecting lines or arcs and lines of reflection. And for the people still not using their headphones, I will highlight this for you. That is where the points come from on the test. Alright, so instructions say x plus 2, remember the x-coordinate controls left and right, the y-coordinate controls up and down. Plus 2 would mean to the right, because the positive numbers go this way. And minus 4 would be down. Boop, 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 boop. Did I boop that right? Boop, 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 boop. Boop, 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 boop. And then I can tell the end's there. Get this going on. Jump cut. But now we gotta do the connecting line. So there's the, K prime, J prime. Yeah, these are important. So this is M prime, L prime. Connecting corresponding points, connecting corresponding points, connecting corresponding points. This takes us all the way back to day 1 with the lizard. Incredible. Next one, reflect across the y-axis. Nope, that's for you to do later. And actually, this is wrong. You gotta fix this. This should say translate. X plus 5. Oops. Jump cut. Change this to a translation x plus 5, y plus 3. Because I do a translation, you do a translation. I do a rotation, you do a rotation. I do a reflection, you do a reflection. Let's do the rotation now. Rotate 90 degrees clockwise about the origin. Now there's a couple different ways you can handle this. The origin is the center here. So to get a rough idea, you could switch clockwise, do this, or you can do things like this K is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units down the x-axis, but once it changes by 90 degrees clockwise, I know it'll be down here. And this I, that I ended up there. Yeah, it's off by 1 here, but now it's off by 1 here. What am I looking for? L. So L is on the edge of the graph over here. It should end up on the edge of the graph way over here. Yeah, because then this line, which is vertical lines become horizontal lines. So with things like 90s and 180s, you can actually use the grid to guide the rotation because the grid is oriented at 90 degrees. Now it's a little tricky with things that aren't vertical like this, but it has a horizontal vertical relationship with the origin, and so does this one, only it's vertical horizontal. And don't forget, this is L prime, this is K prime, this is I prime, and this is J prime. And gotta draw these archies. Why do I feel like I screwed up somehow? Oh, I have to start this whole video over. Oh, I see what happened. I had some dots on here earlier. I thought something was messed up. New patty paper. There they are. Yeah, see, these are on both sides of that vertical axis, or horizontal axis, so they gotta be on both sides of the horizontal axis. Can't believe I didn't catch that. Hopefully you were screaming at your screens. You know what I'm gonna say. How embarrassing. Got the letter primes. And this just goes to show how important the arcs are, because while I was doing the arcs, I realized the arcs were messed up. So I must have messed up my dots, and they did. Hopefully you caught it earlier. Okay, that's the terriblest way to count it. Alright, and lastly, reflection across y equals x. Now this is a line. This is y equals 1x plus 0. Slope is 1, so we don't write it. That's why it just says x. No one wrote the little one. And the intercept is 0, so no one writes that either. This is the famous line, y equals x. It's a 45-degree line. In a second, you'll have to deal with y equals negative x, which is the same sort of line going down at a 45-degree angle, because the slope is negative 1 and the intercept is 0. So these are famous, funny-looking equation lines. Even though the line is actually pretty normal and great and very useful, the equation looks not complete, but it is a full equation. And you can think of it as just whatever x is, y is negative that. So 3, negative 3, 4, negative 4, 5, negative 5. You have a 45-degree down. But I have a 45-degree up. And can we reflect this shape? Well, remember, so how do you do reflections? The line of reflection has a slope of 1 over 1. Perpendicular to that would be negative 1 over 1. So I'm going to travel along a negative 1 slope line. That's 1, 2 and a half. That's half, 1 and a 2. So there's L prime. K jumps to there. J jumps to there. And the shape overlaps. And is this off the screen? Crazy little off the screen dot. And half, no, it's right on there. That's I prime. Yeah, we're getting some overlap. That happens. That happens when the line of reflection goes through your shape. You can still reflect the shape. One side goes one way, the other side goes the other way. And don't forget your connecting lines. Is it really okay? The other two connecting lines are overlapped at the sides of the polygon, so I can't really see them. Fun. Next page. Write a rule to describe each transformation. Provide connecting lines, arcs, and lines of reflection. Is this a reflection? Well, this would reflect to there, this would reflect to there. Remember, reflections happen in parallel lines. So this is not a reflection. This is rotation. This is swung up there. I swing down here. So this looks like a 180 because things on a vertical line end on a vertical line, you know, in relation to the origin. So the origin is our center. Half a circle. Ah, come on. Bad content. And a compass malfunction? You're kidding me. How did I bump it? Cut this out and edit in the edit. I'm kidding, I don't edit these. These are live. Let's try to get the J. Whew. Okay, so as you can tell, from L to L, from J to J, it's 180. Great. degrees clockwise about the origin. That's not a smiley face, that is the origin, 0, 0. Don't try to make a smiley face out of it. Okay? Do not make a jack-o'-lantern. Don't do that. It's not what we're doing. Okay. Next, we have yes, there's a couple more arcs I should have drawn, but I'm out of time. H, now this looks like a reflection, but look, H goes to H, G goes to G. They're not swapping sides, so they are just straight. Could you get credit for this? Well, if you're as good at it as I am, look at those lines. They're so artistic and straight. Translate. Now let's check the XY direction. Left and right first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. X minus 7 because it went to the left, comma. H from here. 1, 2, 3. Y minus 3. Brilliant. And now a reflection. R goes to R. T goes to T. Far side. They do swap places. So how do we do this? We connect. First you have to connect the pre-image to the image. Pre-image to the image. Pre-image to the image. Then you have to ask yourself, what is slope of connect? Here it's down 1 over 1, down 1 over 1, negative 1 over 1. Perp 1 over 1. So, and then you have to go halfway. So from R to R prime is 2 diagonal boxes, so 1 diagonal box. I need a slope with a line with a slope of 1 that goes through this point and through this point for that matter. Look at that, easily peasily. L, O, R. Should you label it? Yes. Label the line of reflection. And do we have them all? Yes, so now you have a rotation. These 2 rotations? Oh man, no translation for you. Just turbo. Here, I'll give you a bonus. Describe the translation of this one, this pre-image, to this image. Yeah. Typos all over this review. What is that? What's the rule there? Write that down. And next page, state if a polygon is regular or not. Well, let's see. Are all these angles the same? No, they're not. So no, not. Is this a regular? Are all these angles the same? Yes. Okay. Are all the sides the same? Yes. This is a square. So polygon. Now, if regular, provide angles of rotational symmetry and draw lines of symmetry. So remember, this is 360 degrees divided by sides equals 90. So 90, 180, 270. And draw a line of symmetry. This is an even numbered polygon, so you should probably be using a ruler. If you don't use a ruler, make sure your lines are awesome looking and artistic and straight, like mine, or use a ruler. No sloppy stuff. Okay, you see how I hit the center of this side and the center of this side like perfect? It's gotta be perfect. Alright, last topic for the paper test. Find the missing side of each triangle, leave the answers in radical form. This means you don't have to do the decimal, you just write the answer as a square root. But what if there's a square root already on the side? That actually makes the problem easier. So first, identify the 90, then the hypotenuse. So 4 is going to be our C side. So let's do x squared plus root 15 squared. Right, this is B. There's B b is root 15, then we square it. Plus 4 squared. We don't know what x is yet. But square root of 15 squared is just 15. The square root and the square undo each other. Because one says, what's the number you need to multiply by itself to get 15? The other thing says, multiply it by itself to get 15. Done. And this is 16. Da-da-da, da-da-da. Show all your work. Show, yo, whoa. Every step, gotta communicate mathematically. Oh, this is x squared. Yep. Those undo each other, and we just get x, and the square root of 1 is 1. That was an example where we knew the hypotenuse, but we didn't know a side. Here we know both sides, but don't know the hypotenuse, so we're going to get 2 squared plus root 7 squared equals c squared, or x squared in this case. 4 plus 7 equals x squared, 11 plus x squared, root 11, x equals root 11. And then you might have one without a radical on the side. Oh, that's the c. 4 squared plus x squared equals 15 squared. 16 plus x squared equals 225. And minus 16, and x squared equals, mental math, 209? That might be wrong. You check me. X equals root 209. Ta-da! Alright. That's your test review. Make sure you know how to do all these problems that I didn't do, and you'll have a great test. Like and subscribe.